There's an ancient Chinese proverb which says, when sleeping women wake, mountains will move. We ended our last midrash on the way, Haderek, of the Natsari mind, which is a biblical or Oriental Eastern mindset. The Brit Chadasha says, a renewed covenant says, in order for us to return to our first estate as a kingly nation of priests, we must have the mind of Messiah. He who is the beginning and the end, the Aleph and the Tav, and the very source of all creation, Revelation 1:8 and John 1:3. He is the one whose mind was first. Putting on the mind of Messiah is a return to the source and original mind intended for man. Now, I understand that crossing over to the Hebrew way seems difficult, but many of us have already begun to enter into that lifestyle. Many of us have been living this lifestyle for many years, but some of us may not have identified it as such yet, especially those who are just beginning. For instance, homeschooling. Homeschooling, though thought to be a Western idea, has its roots in ancient Israelite history. Deuteronomy 11:19 states how we're to teach Torah when we sit at home. In the days of Messiah and before the age of 3, memorization of scriptures, proverbs or wise sayings, benedictions were accomplished, and by 6 or 7, schools attached to synagogues were established and overseen by men of great renown like Ezra and his successors. Now, promoting a holistic, close-knit community sense of nationalism, the child's mind was molded to eat, sleep, and live the God of Israel, his Torah, its people, the land of Israel. Ancient Jews were essentially right-brained and taught to be unity-minded in their deeds, holistic in their focus. Community is the strength of a people, or to illustrate it in a Chinese proverb, the peg that stands out is pounded down. So the Hebrew tongue and its people are synonymous. To understand one is to understand the other. It is a holistic and functional in its approach, and it encompasses loving Abba with all our hearts, souls, minds, and strength. Again, it is a functional approach, first giving Abba our hearts as we submit to him in all things through communion with him in every aspect of life, allowing his spirit to change us. Now, applying the mind to the Hebrew scriptures is to submit to it, to understand that it is requiring something of you. There is a relationship of humility from our hearts to the Holy Scriptures. Case in point, we read in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 16, the following. And from him, the whole body, constructed and joined in every joint, according to a gift given in measure to every member for his growth of the body, that his building may be completed in love. And that's from the Aramaic version. Again, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 16. So it is from him, from our Abba, that every member is given a gift in measure. We are like many sieves in a granary, that granary being Messiah, pouring out as he chooses that which has been poured in and through us. It does not originate with us. We serve as only vessels or conduits, if you will, to the greater building of the kingdom of Israel. So we're talking of unity according to the collective interdependence upon one another, and together our dependence upon our Heavenly Father. We're speaking of the interrelation of the language, the land, and the people of the covenant, and how they express by their nature functionality, the heart and purposes of the Father and his own nature, how he is one Father, one Son, and one set apart spirit, or one Kadosh Ruach. So the chart that you're seeing now illustrates the strength and the wisdom of what we've been speaking on, of the scriptural mindset versus the me-centered, separatist, materialistic way of the biblical mindset. Oh, I'm sorry, of the Western mindset. So on the left, we have the Western reads from left to right. The Hebraic reads from right to left. Next, we have the Western tends to act in his own self-interest, even if it harms a group. The Hebraic tends to act in the group's interest, even if it harms his own self-interest. The Western mind is prone to anti-Semitism. The Hebraic respects the people of the covenant and their success. The Western categorization by rules comes easily. The Hebraic mindset categorization by rules comes with difficulty. The Western mindset tends to look for categories in the organization. The Semitic mind looks for relationships in the organization of objects. The Western mind, the young learn nouns first. The Semitic mind, the young learn verbs first. The Western mind tends to excel at geometry. The Semitic mind excels at math and algebra, but not geometry. Geometry tends to be more of an abstract mindset. The Western mind regards objects in isolation. The Semitic mindset regards objects in context. The Western mind thinks in words. The Hebraic mind thinks in pictures. Western deals in parts and specific. Eastern deals in wholes and relationships. The Western will analyze, break apart, and the Semitic or Hebraic will synthesize and put together. So after studying the chart, I'd like to know, how has the enemy gained the advantage over us as a people? That will be a good thing for us to discuss. So next, my next talk will discuss, we're going to go in a little bit deeper, more focused, where we will be discussing the alter ego of feminism and how deadly it is to the collective body of Messiah and of Israel, Allah's covenant people. Shalom, shalom.